You're listening to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte, brought to you by the Patrick Laros Mortgage Team, Stryker Roofing, Nation's Home Warranty, DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance, Evolution Moving, Backyard Workroom, Republic Title, Keen Landscaping, and Dandy Duck Cleaning. And now your host, real estate broker, consultant, and best-selling author, Todd Tramonte.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to Texas Real Estate. Hey, there's reason for a little optimism, fellas. There's actually some good news out in the market. Now, there's been a lot of good news lately if you're a seller, but there is some reason for slight increase in optimism if you're a buyer. There has actually been an almost unnoticeable, but noticeable. Almost unnoticeable, but noticeable uptick in inventory lately. Now, I am stretching a little bit here for optimism for buyers, but we are seeing some of that spring inventory hit the market here in the DFW area. So if you're a buyer, I am not telling you that this means everything just got easy for you. I am telling you that this is the first time in months we have seen an uptick in houses entering the marketplace. So if you're looking for houses, you might have one or two more in the area and price point you're looking available to you right now. You look across Dallas-wide, Dallas-Fort Worth-wide, we are still well below 1.5 months of housing inventory. Well, what does that actually mean? We'll get into it as we make our way through the show today. We're brought to you by the Patrick Laros Mortgage Team and a bunch of other really amazing vendor partners that we have that our clients have been using for a long time. So if you ever have a need related to real estate, just remember you can always go to overunderagent.com, overunderagent.com, click that radio tab, and it will point you towards professionals that we feel do a really great job, that we've had good results with. If you have questions that you would like to get answered this week right here on the show, you can call or text 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008, or always, anytime, day or night, online at overunderagent.com. Hey, we've got a full studio today. We've got the one and only producer extraordinaire of all things audio, video, and digital, the young MG, Mason Goss, in the house with microphone. How you doing, Mason?
Thanks for having me, Todd. It's been a good week. My baby's sleeping a little more.
It's always exciting.
Couldn't quite tell when he was done with that sentence.
It was kind of a run-on. I respect a run-on.
I leave the audience in suspense.
That's right. Just excellent. A radio hook, radio hanger. Hey, by the way, it did sound like you used 8 commas in that verbal sentence, and I support it. All the commas you can get
and
in
a few of like the dots as well.
Ellipses. Yeah. It was excellent.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mason.
All right, folks. Not only is the young MG in studio, the English wonder himself is here. The Yanni Donnie, Ian Daniels, is here. And as has been the case for years now on Texas Real Estate, we will, first question of the show, we will answer what most of our listeners and friends and neighbors are dying to know. Ian, how English do you feel today?
I think people are less interested in how I'm feeling and how English I am. I'll answer it pretty English today, feeling pretty English. I can do a little bit more of an accent if we need it. But the big question that we know everybody wants to know is, how's Middlesbrough doing? And the answer is, the season's pretty much done with. Couple of losses. But Uncle Neil is staying with us for next season. Our manager will be back and feeling good. We're going to get next year. Next year is going to be the year.
All right, let me translate that for all of our American listeners. Football is soccer, and the borough is Middlesbrough, a football team or soccer team, you may say, over in England. And Uncle Neil is the coach, also referred to as manager. And what Ian just said is, team's not doing so hot. We're looking forward to next year, and the coach is not leaving.
Correct, but we're pretty close with Neil, so we Facebook Zoomed with him.
Everyone in the DFW area understands that Dallas Cowboys. It's kind of same thing.
Yeah, let's just move on. Let's move on from our European football minute, which unfortunately took the full minute today, and that's all we've got. Hey, let's end it with a good old Up the bro.
Up the bro.
All right, folks, if you've got questions about real estate here on this real estate radio show, feel free to go online anytime, day or night, overunderagent.com. You can contact us any way you like through the website. You can certainly click on that radio tab, get access to all of our expert professionals that we introduce our clients and friends to all the time because they do incredible work for our real estate clients all across DFW. We'll probably help 200 to 300 people buy or sell a home this year. We will answer questions and talk to thousands of home buyers, sellers, renters, investors this year. And those are the primary vendors: roofers, plumbers, electricians, mortgage lenders, insurance agents, backyard workshop builders, and all sorts of other things. Those are the primary folks that we are introducing to our clients and our friends because our clients and our friends and us, we have had great results with those folks. So check them out if you need a title company, mortgage lender, roofer, plumber, electrician, additional space provider or anything like that. Overunderagent.com, click on the radio tab and check that info out there. Now, if you've got a question for today, call or text. Don't forget you can text us anytime. 214-310-0008. 214-310-0008. We'll take your questions here today.
One of the biggest questions we've been getting, I've talked to several of my friends about this over the past few weeks, is really, do we go ahead and sell right now despite the fact that inventory is so low? Like, does it make sense to go into a rental? Does it make sense to take advantage of the crazy low inventory sales market, even if it means we can't buy right now? And my answer's been twofold. Could be a yes, could be a no, depending on flexibility, depending on do you really want to move twice. But what say ye, you, Todd Tramonte?
Ye, we say. I'll make it a singular answer. Yours has been twofold. I'll go one-fold, which might not require a fold at all. And I'm going to say no. There are always exceptions, and so the twofold answer is fine, and it's probably the more appropriate non-radio answer when you have more time to discuss it. But if I'm giving you a short answer and you like your current home and you're thinking, man, I could sell it and make a fortune, but there's nowhere to go, then I'm going to tell you it's okay.
Yeah.
Hang tight. Sit on that equity. I don't think it's going anywhere, but here's the caveat to that. I also don't think the rampant, crazy, wild, some might say crazy berserko hot buyer market, I don't think that's going anywhere either. I think home buyers are going to continue to face rising prices and might begin to face some rising interest rates in the next year or two. That's a maybe. I don't know. You'd have to reach out to Patrick Glaros to know that for sure. But I think if you enjoy the home you're in, there are scenarios where I would say go capture that equity and go rent or live with a friend if you need to get out of debt or you're in a really tough financial bind. But otherwise, if you're just seeing that equity as a cash grab, but then you're going to end up in a living situation that is not as safe or pleasant or comfortable or confident, it's not worth it. That equity is not going to go anywhere. I don't think in the DFW market anyone is going to be losing home value anytime soon outside of a rare singular situation.
What about for somebody that is renting at the moment? They've been in a rental for a while. This may be the first home that they're going to purchase, but it's just so tricky to get in right now. Yep. What's the advice? Is it we continue to rent? We're going to advise you to continue to rent, or do you potentially overpay slightly to get into the market just to get your foot in the door?
Well, Ian, since you were feeling extra English today, I'm going to quote Winston Churchill today.
Who?
Yeah, Churchill. And I'm going to say...
Is that history?
Definitely that is, quote, history, end quote.
I took geography in high school.
Weird that you only took one, but you've told this story before. Here's the deal. Churchill would say, never give up, don't ever give up, don't ever give up. And then there's some American sports stars that have quoted Churchill.
I was going to say, isn't that from a TV show somewhere?
Nope, that's from Winston Churchill. And I'm sure other people have said it. It's not exactly the most eloquent thing he ever said.
That's like a Friday Night Lights thing.
The fact of the matter is, Jimmy V Foundation has made it more famous in America. I knew it. I knew that's where you were going.
That's what it is.
All right. But the point I'm making is this.
Winston, wow.
The point I'm making is this, while quoting English statesmen, is buyers should not wait. If you're a renter right now and you're financially prepared, we always say the best time to buy is when you and your family and your finances are ready. A great agent can help create a strategy for any market, even this market that's crazy, crazy, crazy competitive. What I would say is go ahead and get into this market with a great agent. Obviously, we'd love to earn your business at the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. We have a strategy right now that has put 7 buyers under contract in the last week. That's 1 a day, folks. It's actually more than 1 a day, depending on how you calculate it out. But we are getting buyers into houses. It's not easy by any means. You need a great agent and a great lender and a great title team and inspectors and everybody, and usually a great real estate agent can help you put all that together. You can go to overunderagent.com and we'd be happy to do that for you. But if you refuse to give up and you're willing to be tenacious right now, we will get you into a home, and we will get you into a home that's I will tell you, that house will be worth more the day you close on it than the day you put it under contract. So to Ian's point about potentially having to pay more than asking or pay more than you had previously thought that home is worth, that is, for the most part, that is the market we're in today. But we're also in a market where if you put a house under contract today and you close 30 days from now, you've gained value. You've built equity before you even purchased it. Now, I'd rather buy $50,000 below market value, but that's not the market we're in today. We had another question this week from my buddy Matt Wagner, actually, that ties into this. And that question was basically, is there any way for me to buy a house before I sell my house, even though I don't actually have the cash to do that? And what I would say is the answer to that is yes. Go to overunderagent.com, overunderagent.com, or call or text us at 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008, and we will introduce you to some programs and some financing and some really creative options where you can buy a home before you sell your home and you can pay all cash even if you don't have that cash right now. We can connect you with some options to get that done. And it's a really great strategy for the current market. So overunderagent.com or 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008.
Real quick, if you don't know what your home valuation is right now, you crazy and you need to. So you can go to valuethishouse.com, and in less than 60 seconds, you can find out what your home is worth or what it would rent for at valuethishouse.com. It's going to give you an automated valuation. If you want something a little bit more customized, just respond to the email that you're going to get. Just say custom valuation. One of our team will reach out, either myself, one of our marketing specialists, and you will be able to know what your home is valued at, valuethishouse.com. Now, look, there's one industry that has sometimes got a pretty bad rap. Home warranty companies have got a pretty bad rap at times. They have come across as just, hey, nothing ever gets fixed. They're not going to do the thing. The great news is that Nation's Home Warranty has been our company that we've been using for 15 years.
Yep.
And we've had so many great reports from them.
Yep.
So many great reports. Julie Jones is an excellent communicator. Awesome. So good. Comes by the office, loves to communicate with our clients. If anybody has any problem, we will reach out to Julie. You can reach out. You can contact them, and Julie will take care of it for all of our clients. You can go to home-warranty.com, and that's Nation's Home Warranty.
Yep. And, Julie's helped me on my personal home with Nation. So, they're just a really, really great company. All right, folks, if you've got questions, call or text 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008, or you can always go to overunderagent.com. Why do we have such a weird website, Ian?
Maybe so that it can be remembered, Todd.
Yep. We guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time. Right now, Robert on our team pulled the data the other day, and it's so crazy that I'm hesitant to say it on radio because it sounds unbelievable.
Do it.
We are currently selling homes more than 9% over the average price. More than 9% over the average price. and so far beyond 3 times faster than the market average. I'm not even going to say it because it truly sounds unbelievable. John and Jeremy are the marketing specialists on our team. We've had a 7-step proprietary marketing system absolutely dominating the market for 13 plus years. And this is a market where if sellers are willing to discipline themselves to actually put forth a full effort and use our maximum equity full marketing program, we are breaking all-time record sales prices by more than 9%. You have a $500,000 house. How would you like an extra $45,000 to $50,000? I'm not joking.
Love it.
Legitimate, more than the neighbors sold their house for. The neighbors are selling their house for more than their house has ever sold for. And then we, the Todd Tramonte home selling team, are selling your house for 9% more than the neighbors.
That's the key thing to drive home there, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of people in this market are saying, well, I can go with whoever. I can do this myself. I'm going to be able to sell my house for more money than it's ever sold for. And in the most part,
right,
that's probably true. But are you actually maximizing what your home is worth?
Well, we actually, on the radio show a couple of weeks ago, we talked about this, and then Mason, producer extraordinaire of all things audiovisual and digital, put that out on our Facebook page. So if you haven't been over to the Texas Real Estate Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte radio show Facebook page, or just the Todd Tramonte home selling team Facebook page, that clip is on there of us talking about how sellers are making some crazy mistakes. And the number one mistake is that they're being lazy.
Yep.
They're assuming what you just said. Well, everybody's breaking records right now. And the reality is, if you update your data to the current market, that's become the norm.
Yeah.
It's normal, and this is good news for everybody, but it is normal that if you sell your house in 2021, that should be the highest price that home has ever sold for. But our 7-step proprietary marketing team and Jeremy and John and our amazing staff and everyone that gets involved in that are exceeding that number by more than 9%. And to be honest, in some areas, it's even more than that. Again, it's getting to the point of not even being believable, but it is a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. Hey, folks, if you need mortgage help at all, I want you to reach out to the Patrick Glaros team, patrickglaros.com. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of our clients over the last 15 years have used Patrick. I've used Patrick. Ian's used Patrick. Half the people in our office, probably more than half the people in our office have used Patrick. And they're just incredible. Head over to patrickglaros.com. He believes what I believe, that we're each created with unique God-given gifts and abilities. And so he has a team, just like we have a team, where each person performs one unique specified role. And therefore, our clients and friends get an expert at every single step of the process instead of one person trying to juggle it all themselves. So if you need mortgage help to refinance your home, buy a vacation home, buy an investment home, head over to patrickglaros.com right now, patrickglaros.com.
What do you think is going to be the biggest driver over the coming months of new inventory that's going to be coming on the market? Do you there's a lot of stuff on like forbearances and things like that.
Yep.
Do we think as a team that is going to create more inventory?
It's a great question, and we've been getting a lot lately. Let me really quick just explain forbearance, just in case someone hasn't been paying attention, because it's our job to pay attention and share that information with you, our friends and listeners and neighbors. So forbearance is where mortgage companies, even car loan companies, basically banks and lenders have said, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are willing to forbear. Like, we are willing to give you some time to not have to make that payment, right? So we're going to give you months, and for some people it's been a year now, where you don't have to make that mortgage payment or you don't have to make that car payment. That's been going on now for a lot of people for 6 months to a year. And for a lot of those institutions, those banks and lenders, they're going to end those forbearance periods, probably in the next 90 days,
Yep.
May, June, July, depending on when they started it. Some of the government encouraged forbearance will no longer be forced or required here in the next 60 to 90 days unless something changes. So Ian's question is, do we expect that to create some more inventory, meaning more houses to come onto the market because people are now having to make those payments and can't? The answer I have to that is going to be somewhat complex. So producer Mason has a thought, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on that really quickly.
I was just going to mention that this is probably a topic that we need to carry on into the second half of the show, because I've had people come up to me, some friends who have said, I'm not sure about buying because of the bubble, of the real estate bubble, and having to do with this forbearance issue. And maybe you can kind of unpack that and help explain that to our listeners. Is this like the 2008 bubble? Is it similar? What's different about it?
Here's what we're going to do.
How does forbearance play into that?
Here's what we're going to do. Hang with us. We're not finished yet, but in the second half of the show, we will break that down in tremendous detail. But I'm not going to be that guy that leaves you completely hanging with no answer to that question whatsoever. Let me just say this. I am a believer, and I'm not trying to come across as overly confident or cocky or rude here, but we typically get these things right. We are helping hundreds and hundreds of people buy and sell a home every year, and we're helping thousands and thousands of people every year in the Todd Tramonte home selling team business, much less on the radio show, get information about housing. And my opinion is that the potential influx of inventory from the end of forbearance will not be huge. It will not be a massive mover in our market. It will be significant, and I'll explain why when we come back after the break, but stay tuned. We're not there quite yet.
Let me take a minute to tell you guys about DP Lambert and Goosehead Insurance. DP is an awesome insurance agent, and he has worked with pretty much everyone on our team. And most of the time, he's saving people money and increasing coverage, which is crazy because it's usually one or the other.
Or neither.
Neither. That's fair. That's fair. And we've been looking for good insurance agents for a long time. And we found DP a couple of years ago, and he's been with us ever since because he just does a great job. He's fantastic at what he does. He's really communicative and just on top, great at saving people money. And just an all-around nice guy, great to work with. He's going to help you and try to seek the best coverage and the cheapest amount you have to pay for that coverage. You can reach out to him at dp.lambert at goosehead.com, dp.lambert@goosehead.com, or you can give him a phone call or send him a text, 214-838-5684. Just tell him we sent you.
He only saved me like $1,900.
Just only.
Whatever.
Poor you. And he can do your home, your auto, your investment property, your vacation home, whatever the case may be. I want to also tell folks about Dandy Duck Cleaning, and that might sound weird because duck cleaning has a bad name, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, because there are some shady duct cleaning companies out there that are literally spraying carpet cleaner down people's air ducts and weird stuff, makes it smell good, and it's basically a scam. We know the ownership over at Dandy Duck Cleaning. We spent time with them. We've actually done some real estate business with them. We know their character and their intentions, and they do a great job. We've already sent them several clients and seen the results they produce. We've had our clients shop with multiple duct cleaning companies. They're saving money with Dandy. And also, the ownership over at Dandy Duct Cleaning has offered for our clients and our listeners, they will do a completely free hospital-grade antibacterial misting throughout the home, throughout the air handling system, through the ducts and the compressors and everything. That way, if you're worried about germs, COVID, or even if you just have asthma or allergies, you can be in really, really great shape. So head over to dandyduckcleaning.com. That's dandyduckcleaning.com. If you're looking for real estate expertise after this radio show is over, all throughout the week or even at night, I want you to take advantage of our team, the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. We are here to guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time, over the average price and under the average time. We're also guaranteeing still to save buyers at least $5,000 throughout the purchase process. And we've put 7 buyers into houses in the last week. Head over to overunderagent.com. That's overunderagent.com. Remember, folks, we only introduce you to recommended professionals because they've done a great job for us and our clients. So check out Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, Stryker Roofing, Nation's Home Warranty, DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance, Evolution Moving, Dandy Duck Cleaning, Backyard Workroom, Republic Title, and Keen Landscaping. We'll be right back with more Texas real estate on WBAP.
Welcome back to Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte, brought to you by the Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, Dandy Duck Cleaning, Republic Title, DP Lambert with Goose Insurance, and Nation Home Warranty. And now your host, Todd Tramonte.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Remember, if you've got questions about your real estate or any real estate, you can call or text 214-310-0008 right now or anytime. 214-310-0008. Just save that phone number in your cell phone. Call or text anytime with any real estate questions. Even if you're not buying or selling and you just need some intel, call or text 214-310-0008 for the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team, and we will gladly get you some resources, a recommended professional or vendor, or, of course, walk you through step-by-step buying or selling real estate for your family, yourself, your home, investments, or any other need whatsoever. 214-310-0008 or online at overunderagent.com. Now, when we went to the break, we were promising you that we would further unpack this concept of what some people call kind of shadow inventory, but that's not really what this is. Shadow inventory is where banks are holding on to properties that they've had to take through the process of foreclosure, and they have not yet put them onto the market. So in the past, shadow inventory was a thing because you'd have several big multinational banks that had thousands of homes each, and they were going to dump them onto the market at one point. That's not happening in any significant number right now at all. What people mean when they're saying that lately is that as these big lending institutions begin to end forbearance, which means they're ending permission for homeowners to not pay their mortgage, which means people will have to start paying their mortgage again. And some people have lost their jobs due to COVID, or they're underemployed for whatever reason. There's the feeling that that is going to cause a lot of people to say, I can't stay in my home, I need to sell it, and we're going to see a bunch of houses hit the market. Now, producer Mason was mentioning just a while ago that he's had friends say to him, you know, I might buy, but I'm a little worried that the market's going to get soft because all these houses are going to come onto the market. Or you might have heard people say, if you're going to sell now because prices are going to take a hit when all these houses enter the market. And I'm here to tell you, based on all the data I can see and based on almost 20 years in the residential real estate business, I don't think there's going to be an all these houses situation. I think there's going to be some of that. But here's the deal. It's crazy how hot this market is. If someone stopped paying their mortgage last June and they have to start paying this June, that house is still worth more than the lost equity of not paying their mortgage for a year. They have gained more value than they lost by not paying their mortgage. So even if they did need to sell that house, and some of them will, I don't think it's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands, and I'll explain why here in a minute. But even if they did, those homes are still going to sell for full market value, if not even beyond full market value. So this is not a scenario where all of a sudden tons of houses flood onto the market, and because of that, prices go down. I think there is somewhere around 0% chance of that happening. Now, it's possible that you guys will play that recording later and I'll sound like an idiot and it'll be laughable.
Because we have 9 months of inventory.
I believe that there is about a 0% chance of that happening.
Yeah.
Here's what I think will happen, and then we'll get to your questions. If you've got questions, you can send them to us here on the radio show or over to the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team at 214-310-0008 or text 214-310-0008. Or, of course, you can always go to overunderagent.com to submit your questions or to check out seller information, buyer information, current housing pricing. You can see all sorts of information about the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team, or you can send in a question there at overunderagent.com as well. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. I think a lot of the people that took advantage of forbearance didn't need to.
Sure.
They did it as a precaution because they weren't certain about what was going to happen with their job or their income or their savings. I don't necessarily blame them for doing that, but I think they are capable of picking up their mortgage payments and moving forward. I think there's a big chunk of people that is true for. I do think there's a reasonable sized chunk of people who went into forbearance because they needed to. I think those people, some of them will figure out a way to stay in the home and make the payment. And a fraction of those people will want or need to sell, and they will be able to sell quickly for full market value, and it will not negatively impact the market at all. If anything, I think a slight surge in new inventory will actually create some optimism and balance in our market where there might be a little bit more of a give and take between buyers and sellers, where there's a few more homes to sell them. Let me just finish this thought and then we'll move on. If that were to occur, we might go from 1 month of housing inventory. Think about this. We could double our inventory and still only be in 2 months of inventory, which is still an extreme seller's market.
Well, to be clear,
That's
now,
not gonna happen.
we're only at like 0.3 months of inventory.
In most of the really desirable areas of DFW, we're less than half of a month of inventory. If you summarize the whole market together, we're around 1. And again, if we doubled it, which we won't, but if we doubled it, we would still be in an extreme seller's market with prices going up and buyers having to fight for those houses.
Look, a major part of buying a house is making sure that you have a really trusted lender to help you through the process. For us, that's Patrick Gleros over at Cardinal Financial. Patrick and his team, Rick, Melanie, all the other folks that are over there, do such an amazing job for our clients. I am a client of theirs. I worked with them twice last year. The way they communicate, the way they get everything done for us, the way that they're on time, the way that they have their own set of guarantees to help hold them accountable is why we trust Patrick Gleros over at Cardinal Financial. They believe what we believe in terms of having a team and expertise. You can reach out to them at patrickgleros.com or 972-728-3420, 972-728-3420 or patrickgleros.com.
The big box mortgage companies are not good enough. Don't go with them.
Excellent point, producer Mason. No, it's said really directly. I agree with 100% of what you just said. At some point, your big giant bank is not going to call you back at Saturday at 2:30 p.m. when you need to update your pre-approval letter so you can get an offer accepted in 30 minutes before they accept one of the other 19 offers.
Well, that's
not an exaggeration.
That's what we're explaining to folks is most agents are accepting offers on a weekend, and when you need that pre-approval letter, Patrick has this app on his phone that he can get it done for you no matter where he is.
He's built this program that once they've had their intake conversation with you and know your goals, they can service your needs really quickly. And Ian mentioned their guarantee as well. So if you have questions about their guarantee or anything, just go to patrickgleros.com. We have a monster like hand grenade of a question laying here on the screen to answer. And the question is, before I tell what the question is, it's from our buddy Taylor, who works over at WFAA and keeps a really close eye on the housing market and does some incredible kind of fun investigative journalism type work over at WFAA. He's got a show called Y'all-itics, which is really cool. It's about just kind of Texas politics and what matters in the local economy and things like that. But his question is this.
Ready?
Are we in a housing bubble? Right? Simple yes or no question, but a little bit more complex than that. Now, here's the good news. I can give you a one-word answer to that, and I will here in a second. I will also, especially if you guys think it's really relevant, give a much more detailed unpacking of what's going on with that. And I'm hoping to get to connect with Taylor for him to put out some really interesting content for folks on the topic.
If we say we don't think it's relevant, you'll still give the answer.
I will probably still do that, but I may not.
Go for it.
I may not. Before we do that, how about that for a radio tease? Before we answer the question, are we headed towards a real estate bubble? I want to tell you about Republic Title. Title companies can make or break a transaction. If you're buying or selling a home, refinancing, purchasing an investment property or whatsoever, in the state of Texas, we use title companies. They issue a title insurance policy that insures the history of ownership, and they also handle all of the kind of third-party management of the contract terms and the money and the routing of all those things. If you get the wrong title company, they can destroy a good deal. Republic Title gets it done every single time. We have worked with them for 15 plus years. We've had thousands of clients have really, really great results with them. They're wonderful people. I believe they are the most committed and most expert-oriented title company in the market, and the people that we work with over there are wonderful, and our clients continue to say how happy they were with the results at Republic Title. Head over to republictitle.com, republictitle.com, and you'll be just as happy as all of our past clients and friends have been as well. Now, to answer the question, are we in or headed toward a real estate bubble? The answer is no.
Okay.
All right. What's next? Let me unpack that a little bit more.
Come on, Todd. All the YouTube comments section's going to be like, really? That's it? That's it? No.
That's your in-depth analysis.
By the way, we are also on YouTube from time to time, Facebook Live. If you want to track us down in all those places, just start with Todd Tramonte. You'll find us at Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team or Todd Tramonte Realtors or some tag like that. But the YouTube channel is tthst.tv. That's short for Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team, tthst.tv. And you can see hundreds of videos and hours of content, past radio shows, and tons of other educational real estate content that was never on air on the radio show because we create videos all throughout the week. Lots of information about different areas all over DFW, how to get your offer accepted, tips on buying, tips on selling, information about our unique 7-step proprietary marketing system that is currently getting sellers more than 9% over their neighbors' sale prices, and more than 3 times faster than their neighbors are selling for. You can find all that info at overunderagent.com and just click on the videos tab or go directly to tthst.tv for the YouTube channel. Now, I do not think we're in a housing bubble, and I don't think we're even nearing a housing bubble, and here's why. A bubble, by definition, has grown beyond its safe perimeter. It's grown beyond a safe, point of equilibrium, and it is now really fragile and could burst at any moment. That is not what's happening in the real estate market in North Texas right now. All of the reasoning for our crazy market are actually really sound economic principles, sound real estate principles, sound real estate. I hesitate to use the word cycle because we have not been in a traditional, relatively quickly moving 7-year cycle of real estate. But we're in an elongated cycle right now, but we are not near that bursting right now. The reason is we have tremendously low supply and tremendously high demand. And there are logical reasons for the low supply, and there are logical reasons for the high demand. Again, we don't have a ton of time on radio to explain all those, but some of them are low supply because home builders didn't build enough houses for the last decade or so. And we have a limited supply of building materials, literally like lumber and the labor to create a house with it. The reason we have tremendously high demand is because we've had a lack of home buying for years. We have tremendously low housing rates, and we have a massively growing population in our area. Most of that population have quality, high-paying jobs, and there are more and more of them coming to our local market and our state, really almost in every area, especially every major market. So those are the quick snapshot reasons that the low supply makes sense, the high demand makes sense, and both of them should continue for a long time. That is why we are not in a housing bubble.
Okay. Thank you.
There you have it.
We are not in a housing bubble.
Now, here's something fun. Sidebar issue. It's spring. People are putting their houses on the market. I have been asked for a landscaper 4 times in the last week. And I'm telling people to call Keen Landscaping every time. They're actually doing some really incredible stuff at my house right now. I've already done some great irrigation work and are doing really some pretty significant kind of overhauls of our beds and planting some trees and doing some new stuff, landscape lighting, some really, really, really cool stuff.
I'm really excited to get the after photos. I took the before photos, and I'm really excited to get the after photos and then put those up on our website so you guys can see some of their work.
Yeah, you'll be able to see all of that on the radio show website. You can always start at overunderagent.com. Just click on the radio tab. But keenlandscaping.com, is where you want to go. You can talk to my buddy Kieran over there, keenlandscaping.com, for all of your flower bed needs, your seasonal color, tree trimming, installation, planting of trees, irrigation. They do some incredible, gorgeous work. They do residential, commercial. They will do small jobs, and they do a lot of really big jobs as well. Pricing is absolutely fair, and their work is absolutely gorgeous. Check out Keen Landscaping at keenlandscaping.com.
And if you haven't checked your property valuation, I'm going to tell you one more time. Last time, go to valuethishouse.com, where you can see what your home is worth, see what your home would rent for in less than 60 seconds. Less than 60 seconds. Go to valuethishouse.com.
Would it be fair to say someone could have got their property value faster than you just told them where to go get their property value?
If they're a quick typer, then yes.
That's right. I think it takes 30 or 40 seconds. We say less than 60. It really depends on how fast you type.
If you
can move those thumbs
internet,
quick enough.
Might take a little longer.
Valuethishouse.com.
Here's a question for you. This is a question that I have.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming if I have it, many other people have it.
Careful, dangerous assumption, but carry on.
No, I mean, it's pretty fair. If one person has a question, normally other people have the same question.
I am normal, said Ian.
How are these inflated home sales going to affect property taxes?
Can I answer your question with a question? Because I already did.
Yes.
Who says these prices are inflated?
Well, if my property, let's just say a property was valued at $380,000 this time last year, and a house on the same street in worse condition went under contract for north of $460.
Yep.
Feels a little inflated.
I'm willing to say increased home prices.
Okay.
But to me, now I'm being careful with the words here because we just talked about a housing bubble.
Sure.
Inflated is more of a bubble word.
Sure.
Meaning it's kind of beyond where it should be. It's been inflated artificially. I believe housing values in DFW are higher than they've ever been, but I believe they're appropriate. And I know that ticks a lot of people off and they don't like to hear that. But I think houses are worth what people are paying for them today. It stinks because I'd like to pay less. I'd like my clients to pay less. It's awesome because I'd like to sell for that and I'd like my clients to sell for that. But I believe that homes are worth every penny of what people are paying for them today. And that's a scary proposition if you're a first-time home buyer and you started saving 2 years ago thinking that you're going to get a house for $250, and now you're realizing $325 might be the starting place. But go ahead and ask the question again.
Yeah,
and let me
how is
answer
it going to affect your home value for property taxes? Like, are they going to come back and say, well, your home was worth $380 a year ago, and now it's worth $480?
Okay.
And now you have to pay a tax.
Let me answer this as carefully and methodically as I can because it's a little bit tricky. The answer to your question is yes. They are the tax appraiser is going to say your house was worth $380 and now it is worth $460. But there's a cap on how much your taxes due can go up. There's a cap on how much your tax. I got to be careful.
Is it like 10%? Right?
The amount you pay in property taxes can only go up 10% in a 1 year period.
Should everybody expect that?
Let me say that again. The amount you pay in taxes can only go up a maximum of 10% in a 1 year period. Most people should be expecting the amount they're going to pay in taxes this year will be 10% more than last year. Most people should expect that. And let me be honest, I'm in a house I love. I have no intention of going anywhere. I love that my property value went up. I hate that I'm going to have to pay 10% more in taxes.
Is that going to force people into having to think through selling?
Some people are going to be forced into thinking through selling. And sadly, it disproportionately affects the first-time buyer and the last-time owner, right? So it doesn't matter about age, but the second group there, the last-time owner, is typically an elderly someone who may be moving to live with family or moving into a retirement community or something like that, who's on a fixed income, and they bought a home and they've lived there for 40 years, and their value, the amount it costs them to live there has crept up and up and up and up and up because of increased property values. Now, there is an over 65 homestead exemption,
right?
But still, that's capped. Or the growth of that is capped, but there are a lot of people who unfortunately are living on a fixed income, and the amount the cost of living in that home has gone up, and it stinks.
That's me.
It's the way our tax values work in Texas. Now, we don't have property taxes,
True.
and we don't have some other what we might call exorbitant taxes, but the way that tax system works, some people do end up getting taxed out of their home, and it stinks. It is the way it is, though. So the answer to your question is, people should expect, it won't happen to everybody, but people should expect, most of us will be seeing a 10% bump. Now, you can protest that.
Well, that's what my next question was going to be, was what are the odds that someone can protest this and get it
be
reduced?
successful?
Yeah.
Not very good.
Yeah.
Not very good. If you're in an area where there is a reason to believe that your home value did not go up 10%, reach out to us. We would be happy to do a valuation for you. Start at valuethishouse.com, where you can get a free automated value. If you would like a more detailed valuation to go protest that with with the tax assessor, we would be glad to do a more thorough property valuation assessment and give you a little what I call opinion letter, professional opinion letter from a licensed professional to help you go protest that with the taxing authority. We'd be happy to do that. Start by going to valuethishouse.com. And when you get the automated valuation, if you want more, then reply to that email and say, I'd like a more thorough valuation to protest my taxes. And we'd be happy to put that together with you. We'll get you a few pages of comparable sales data and a short opinion letter that you can present if you go before the little hearing to protest your taxes.
Look, if you're anything like me, you probably have some sort of allergy somewhere, right? Some sort of allergy.
Yeah.
For me, it's outdoor stuff, but for a lot of people, it's pets. Or it's things that are just happening inside of the
Dust.
home.
Yep.
And somebody can find a home and they can fall in love with it, but the problem is that it's going to trigger allergies for them.
Some of those deals get killed because of potential allergies. Yeah.
You want my advice?
Yep.
Called Dandy Duct Cleaning. Dandy Duct Cleaning can go in there. They will actually do a hospital-grade antibacterial misting. They're basically going to essentially fog the entire house.
Yeah.
And they're going to make it feel as though no one's ever lived in that property before. The ducts are going to be clean. It's going to get rid of any kind of pet allergens or dust or anything like that, so that you can move in and not have to experience what comes with those allergies. They are a tremendous partner of ours. We love them. I cannot wait to have them over to my house to do that for me, see if that clears up some stuff in our house. You can reach out to them and contact them by going to dandyductcleaning.com, dandyductcleaning.com, or by calling them at 214-385-2650, 214-385-2650.
That's right, folks. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in DFW in the current market, and let's be honest, we're all thinking about it. You're thinking, should I sell at the top? Should I sell? Is this the top? How much could I get if I sold? Or maybe you're thinking, is now the time to build a home? Is now that time to downsize and capture that equity and put it in retirement or put it in an investment or buy a vacation home? Is now the time to buy a house on the beach and rent it out? Is now the time to get a lake house? We're all thinking about it. Real estate is a topic almost every single day. If you're thinking about it, if you're one of the almost everybody who's thought about that, just reach out to us. There's no pressure to buy or sell anything right now. We would be thrilled. We enjoy it. It's what we do. We're educators and real estate consultants. We would be glad to provide resources to you to help you think through buying, selling, or investing in real estate, whether you're a day away, a month away, or a year away. Go to overunderagent.com. That's overunderagent.com, or save this phone number in your cell phone. 214-310-0008. 214-310-0008. Call or text 214-310-0008 for Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. Remember, folks, we only recommend professionals that we have had a great experience with or our clients. So go check out Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team, Nation's Home Warranty, DP Lambert with Goosehead Insurance, Republic Title, and Dandy Duct Cleaning. Find them all online at overunderagent.com. We'll be back next week, 3 p.m., right here on WBAP.